Good morning.
Hello, what's up, Jan?
Good?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Just open a position.
Oh, you're trading today.
Yes, GCAT.
Oh, GCAT.
Yeah. I was watching TK, and that was a really bearish push, and I looked at GCAT, which was pushing as well,
Yeah,
and I opened a short.
nice.
So I'm floating
I'm
like
looking
15 pips
at-
in profit now.
I'm looking at GCAD now that this hour closed, but I'm expecting it to pull up a little bit more first.
Oh.
Sorry, now that the 30-minute closed, but I'm expecting it to pull up first to then take a short.
God damn, you guys are trading today.
GBP will still be fine, surely, no?
Yeah, I think GPCAT should have some volume. Like, I had sells on GJ overnight. I just closed, but that was about it.
Yeah, me
Sells
too.
on
Look it up.
GJ. From where?
Let me check here. This price was... It was here, 141,550.
That's funny. I got in GJ sells overnight at 141,660.
Oh, it was like 141,550. I had a 20 pip stop loss because I saw this move. I'm like, man, this has to correct somewhat, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna risk some profits, and I woke up and I closed. I closed like maybe like 15 pips. Yeah, it was like 15.
That's
pips.
exactly what I thought.
So what, your stop loss only just didn't get hit. It was
No.
like perfect, right?
Yeah.
You got in after the first pullback there?
No,
Like that-
I got in somewhere. I think it was somewhere over here. This
Oh,
area
wow.
right over here.
Yeah. So you didn't even do any confirmation or anything, really?
No, it was coming down. When this bearish was coming down, I entered. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just enter. I'll keep my stop above it, and I'll just see what happens overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got in over there to the right, like the third bearish. So you see the two bearish candles after that, a little to the right? Same area, yeah. So I got in like the second one or the third one, you know? After I saw that exhaustion
Okay,
and the close below that fake out there.
Yeah, nice.
Shit, but I woke up right now and it's another like 30, 40 pips down.
Yeah. Ooh, Keval, you must be missing the entry here in GPCAD.
Do you think it's gonna fill that wick?
Yeah, I think so. I think it should come down a little bit more because now, as it starts to come down, it's gonna have more issues because you know this wick is like a liquidity area here.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my 20 pips profit now at the area,
Okay.
which was my initial take profit.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, at this point, if I was in GCAD, I would be probably like securing profits and putting stops at break even. Because as this candle is coming down, it's respecting the high of the previous one. And dropping.
You know, I'm just opening the small lot sizes. But I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Just to trade because you want to trade and see if you're right. I'm gonna stay out for this. session. But the good thing is, like, if someone's trading GP CAD, the good thing is it's creating a low. I mean, if you're not in any positions, it's creating a low to pull up, and then there's going to be a high chance it's going to come down and retest the low wherever it creates a low.
Yeah, I was expecting it to do that on this 30-minute candle, but it looks like I missed the move for this break. I'll have to wait for the retest now.
But to be honest, I do expect like a lot of ranging today.
Basically the whole London session was ranging. There was no clear move whatsoever.
Nope.
It's one of the most boring mornings I've had.
I was surprised that I woke up, I was only at 15 pips, and I was expecting like 20, 30 pips.
Yeah, exactly. GJ didn't move at all.
Yeah, I was like, what? Oh, only 15.
And your move only happened like towards the last hour or so.
Yeah.
I know, man, my time management just sucks. So just like it's with the sweats and with everything regarding that, it's overwhelming.
There's some guy, he owes me money, and he keeps delaying it. On Saturday, he said he's gonna send it on Sunday. Sunday he made an excuse. Monday he made an excuse. Tuesday he made an excuse. It's Wednesday, and now Thursday he messaged me my time. And all this time, I've just been saying, okay, yeah, no problem. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Like, it's not much. It's like 86 euros. I don't give a fuck. But it's just funny. It's just funny to see him like give me excuses over and over again.
You think he's on the stream?
No, he sent. I don't know.
It's the principle behind the matter. It's not how much he owes you.
Yeah, it's the
It's when
principle.
he said he's going to pay you, he didn't pay you, so he's not a man of his word.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at stuff.
I
I don't give.
exactly. I even told him, listen, it's okay if you can't pay me, but at least don't lie about it. You know.
I never understand that with people when they say that they're gonna pay you and they tell you the time and they tell you when they're gonna do it. It's like, I didn't tell you that was the day. You said it was the day.
Exactly.
Yeah, now you're flopping on it. You know?
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. But it's people are like that. I don't know. I always look at that as well. People like, yeah, so I'll pay you back on this day. I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, no, I don't have it. Sorry. I'm like, but you were the one that created the day, not me. Yeah.
I think it helps to give them a bit more credibility, so if they can be a bit more precise, then you're kind of more inclined to believe them.
I've learned my lesson. I don't loan money to anybody. I don't give money to anybody. I don't give a shit if I'm like suffocating in $100 bills at my house because there's too many of them. I'm not giving money to anybody. I will die with a $100 bill in my mouth before I lend it to somebody. I've learned my lesson. Anytime I've loaned somebody money, I just consider it gone. Like, and it's always like that too. I've had people beg me, oh, I just need this, I just need that. I'm like, no. Oh, but you have the money. I'm well aware of that. There's a reason why I have the money.
Oh, that's the worst thing. Oh, but you have the money.
Yeah.
And it breaks friendships as well.
Yep. I don't give a shit. I don't care. You don't like me? Fuck you.
I mean, if you borrow money to someone, to your friend, it just destroys the friendship in just forever.
Yep. There's never been anybody who's I've lent money. There's maybe been one person I've lent money to that they've paid me back. There's a guy that I know who I lent him $5,000 back in 2008, and every time I see him, he still turns around. He's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I know I owe you $5,000." He's like, "I'm getting it to you." 2008.
Wow. 10 years.
Yeah. We actually had a conversation. I talked to him about that. I said, if you wanted to pay me back, you would have turned around and given me $100 a month for 10 years, and you would have
paid off.
You would have paid back $1,000. Like, you would have paid most of it off. I said, you have no consideration to it, but It's true. So I just don't lend people money.
Like, at least if you don't have it and you don't want to pay it back, just say it. Hey man, I don't have it. I don't think I'll be able to pay it back.
Mhm.
Just the truth. Just say the truth. Instead of
Yes.
like saying, "Oh, tomorrow, next week, tomorrow."
The other thing is too, you know who you can lend money to, who I've done before, are gamblers. People who gamble, like poker players, I've always lent money to. I lend money to poker players any day of the week when I've gambled, and it was because these guys understand the code of ethics when it comes to borrowing money. Like I've been in Vegas and my buddies have needed like money and I'll just give it to them like right out there. They'll be like, "Oh, I need to borrow this." I'm like, "No problem." Like, and then when I get back from home, the money's like EMT'd to me already. It's already, yeah. So I shouldn't say I don't lend money to everybody, but to anybody. But like, yeah, my buddies who gamble, in a heartbeat, like, no problem. Even the guys that I stake that play poker, that I back, I don't even know how much they're winning. All I know is like once a month I get this like message in my account that I've got a deposit.
Everyone's gonna DM you now. Oh, I'm a poker player. Can I have some money from you?
Yeah.
I think the gamblers keep recycling through money. So some they have it and some they don't. But when they have it, they're like, "Okay, here you go. Here's your piece."
Yep. Yeah, most thieves are honest thieves.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, you know, you're a thief, you steal, but at least you're honest about it. I've noticed that with people too.
Righteous people don't want to be embarrassed, so that's why they just give excuses all the time.
That's true.
What are the safe, unregulated brokers? You know, can you? That's a whole nother topic. Regulated, unregulated, offshore, onshore.
Yeah.
I think unregulated brokers are like online universities.
Yep.
That's what it is.
That's exactly it. I you know what, to be honest, right now the brokerage industry is pretty stable. You know, you have good brokers out there. You have I mean a lot of brokerages right now that are forming, that have come out, and they all seem to be doing well. I mean, there's really no competition between brokerages, to be honest. As a brokerage owner, I don't care if 100 brokers open. Every brokerage has their client base. Every brokerage has the people that aren't going to be that don't want to be in the brokerage, and it's fine. Like I've noticed, I've had no problems with any brokerage really. Here's a good question. After how many months of learning off internet and books from library would you invest properly in taking a course? Well, if your IQ is over 140, it should be about 3 days. If it's under 140, it should be about 2 weeks. Those kind of questions, and when anybody asks, how long did it take you to do this? How long, you know, did it take you to do that? Those questions can never be answered, and they should never be answered, because of the fact that you are trying to set up a comparison and you are creating a idea in your head that has no validity to it. You are making a comparison to somebody else, and what ends up happening is when that comparison goes awry and it doesn't happen as fast as you think it should, your mind now gets polluted with issues beyond what the initial process was, which was to try and become a trader or become an airline pilot or whatever it would become. At the end of the day, there is no set time frame on how long you're going to be consistent, how long it's going to take you to get to somewhere. There's no comparisons. It's your own personal journey and what you consider and the passion you put behind something, which will ultimately get you where you need to be. And the faster you learn that about yourself, the better off you're going to be. Chart time doesn't matter. Consistency doesn't matter. Profitability doesn't matter, because everybody's going to do it on their own time, and you have to get used to that fact. And the faster you learn that you are on your own path, and however long it takes you, if that's what you want to do, that's what you do, the better off you're going to be. So I think really people should stop asking those questions. They're highly irrelevant. People ask those questions to deflect from the fact that they have to do something, and they don't like the unknown. They don't like the fact that there's not a simple equation or formula to make sure that they can do what they're doing. And that is the saddest part about being a retail trader, about learning anything, is you don't really want to learn it. You just want to turn around and have somebody give you a formula and you follow the formula, and there's no such thing. So just keep that in mind as you're following your trading journey, and don't ask those stupid questions, because it really makes no sense at all. It doesn't. And there's nobody that's going to give me an argument that says that it does. There's no argument that you can give me that would give a qualified statement to say that, yeah, if you tell me the timelines, that's going to help me in my journey. It's not. Not even close. How are you able to use Trader's Domain when it isn't available in Canada and the US? Well, Michael Curtin, if you can't figure out the answer, you can't use Trader's Domain.
That's like a treasure hunt.
Yes, it is a treasure hunt.
I'm learning to trade so I can be part of your bigger project. I know you have one. I have no bigger project. I think the time it takes for someone to be profitable is directly proportional to what their situation is in life and what experience they have, and like it all depends on a lot of different factors.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of other forms of trading like Renko bars? I don't know anything about any of those, so I can't help you with that. That's the best thing about how I learned how to trade, is I didn't try and pollute my mind with all these different ideas. I created my own ideas, because I figured out very early on from the get-go that if there are people trying to do something, or if everybody's doing the same thing, chances are there's not going to be a good solution to that, because everybody's doing the same thing.
This is Renko bars right here.
Garbage.
Damn. Pyramids.
Why is getting second place good? Because usually what happens is, if you finish in second place in trading, you're just following behind the guy who finished in first, and you don't have to work as hard. So when you look at finishing second, that means someone who's in first place has already created the path. So on the charts, the trend has already been established, and all you're doing is following that person. So whether it's the institution, an algorithm, or whatever it is. There is no trading today. Nobody is touching charts. Raja has a chart open for entertainment purposes. There's no analysis being done today. There's none of that stuff. So there are questions related to your trading. So maybe this would be a good time to use your brain and say, hey, I had a couple of trades this week that didn't go my way. Can we take a look at them and can we see if I could improve on that? Maybe that's a good idea. I don't want to put ideas in people's heads, but maybe this is a good time where nobody's trading and you have like a 2-hour window to ask relevant questions and maybe get information.
Ooh, look at this. Stagnant Hades has found his edge. 30-minute candles closed. Perfect. It's awesome.
Kelvin, I think you have to go back and look at the calendar today and understand why people aren't trading today. Did you ever use EA software for trading? Nope. Hi, I have a question. It's not better to have 1-to-1 ratio than 30. What? It is not better to have 1-to-1 trade than 30-40% accuracy runner. I don't understand that question. Sorry.
Is it not better to have one variation? I think what she meant is it better to have a 1-to-1 ratio than, or that percentage should have been higher.
That's what I mean. That's what I don't understand that. I find it getting retracements after a profitable trade. The bias is good, but I don't know where to get in and miss the trade. What do you advise? Well, Waleed, what you should do is go back on your charts, and the simplest thing for everybody that is learning how to trade is this, is you take a look at your charts and find what you would have considered the best trade that you could have taken. And look at that chart. And as an example, you could turn around and you could say to yourself, I really like this trade here. And what you would do is you would look at that and you would say to yourself, how could I have gotten that trade? And you will turn around and look at multiple time frames and try to understand what's happening in that chart to get this opportunity here. And if you look at the pair that you're trading constantly and you focus on doing that, I guarantee you will learn a lot about what you're doing, and you will learn a lot about trading by doing that. That is how I learned, and that was the easiest way. Similar to when I learned how to play poker, I watched people who were making money. I did not watch to see how much money they were making. I was watching to see how they were making their money. What were they doing with their trading, or sorry, with their playing? Were they bluffing a lot? Were they aggressive? Were they picking on certain players? I wasn't watching how much money they were making. I was just watching them win pots and win hands. And I used that information to my advantage, and I said, I can do that, or I can't do that. And that is probably the easiest way that I learned, because then I was able to figure out my comfort level. I was able to figure out and anticipate what was going to happen in the future. So that's what you can do with your trading. And that is how you should turn around and learn how to trade, is evaluate the market and look at opportunities where you say to yourself, how could I have gotten that trade? And as you practice, you're practicing for that particular trade. And maybe you can't get that trade, which is okay, So now what you have to do is you have to adjust and continually adjust until you find the perfect mixture for your trading plan. And that's the easiest way that you can learn how to trade. Look at all the different ideas and just experiment. It's so easy.
For example, this is going to be a really good experiment now for someone who's not trading. So since we are here, we're going to be here for the next maybe like hour and a half. So this price created a low. The experiment is going to be if this low gets retested. So that's the experiment I'm going to wait on. If this is true, if the low gets retested again, maybe tomorrow or Monday or day after that, we can try to anticipate the same move and then profit on that trade. And then you can turn around and say, oh, this actually works.
Do you think if I trade with my friend that is emotional and looks at the 1 minute chart, or should I trade alone? Well, Caesar, think about it this way. Does your friend hold your penis while you take a piss? Okay. Sometimes you just have to work on your own. It doesn't mean that you can't go to the washroom together. It just means maybe he doesn't need to hold your hand while you're doing your trades. You can sit and talk in the same room, but ultimately you're going to execute on your own. If you've watched myself and Raja trade over the last year on this live stream, there's many of times he takes trades and I don't take trades, and vice versa. But we still hang out every morning together. Harry, this is a incomplete question. Hello, sir. First of all, because you said that, I already know it's going to be a dumb question. Every time I find a setup, I get confused when to enter. Kindly help. That is basically the worst type of question that you could ever ask in life. That's like saying, hi, sir, I woke up, now what? I don't know. Now what? I don't know. Are you hungry? Are you naked? Do you need a shower? Like what? I don't know. I just don't know. What advice would you give to a junior trader like me working in Citibank? Well, pro trader, what do you do in Citibank, and what are your dreams and aspirations? And maybe somebody could help you with that. Stop being rude, bro. Well, stop asking dumb questions. Some people need a quick kick in the ass to get themselves going. It's not being rude. It's, how do people actually go outside in public and ask these type of questions? Like, would you feel comfortable going to McDonald's and saying, what do you guys make here? I don't know. It's just very confusing to me. Yeah, so I'd like a hot dog, please, at McDonald's. Sir, we don't have hot dogs here. But you have hamburgers. How come you don't have hot dogs? Sir, did you look at the menu? No, I didn't. I just assumed. Okay, I'll come back. Hi. Do you have like beer at McDonald's? No. But you have drinks? I know. But you didn't look at the drink menu. Oh, yeah, okay. How about you come back and review everything and then come with your order? That takes too long. Can you just help me make my order? Okay. Would you like a hamburger? Nah. Would you like McNuggets? Nah. Okay, what would you like? Well, I'm hungry though. Okay, do you want a salad? No, I don't like salads. Okay, so what do you want? Can I have a hot dog? I know, but we just explained to you that there's no hot dogs. I know, but I don't like anything else. That's sort of how I feel sometimes with these questions. All right, my question is on psychology. We this is the most hateful live chat room I've been in. Going back to bed. Excellent. Enjoy your day, trading lines.
Yeah, perfect.
My question is on the psychology. How do you maintain emotions after draw like 3 or 4 losses? Well, drug first. I think you should first of all stop taking drugs. If you're saying that's your first drug. Second of all, what you should be looking at is you should be looking at understanding why you're taking those losses. Your emotional trigger to losses is because of several things. The first thing is obviously you have a connection to money. You are concerned about the money that you are losing, and you are starting to panic because you have goals or you have aspirations which are tied to that money. So that's the first thing you have to remove. Trading in the beginning should be a hobby. It should never be a full-time job. It should never be a career. It should never be something that you think you're going to rely on for the rest of your life. When you remove that aspect of reliance on trading to actual execution, you will find that trading will become fun. Because I guarantee you today, if I ask you to go open your door to your room, you will open the door with no hesitation. But if there's a fire in your room and I tell you to go open the door, you will tell me the doorknob is hot and I can't do it. And I will say, no, but you need to open the door. And you will argue with me because you don't want to die. That's similar to trading. If the only thing that you have going for you is trading, you will feel the urgency and the emotional rush of every negative and every positive decision that you make trading. So that's the first thing. The second thing related to psychology and trading and taking losses is understanding your losses. And the problem is, if you're taking 3 or 4 losses in a row, you are now becoming nervous about the fact that you think you don't know what you're doing. So to gain that confidence back, you must go evaluate your losses. Why did you take losses, and what can I do to prevent those losses from happening again? When you are able to fully focus on those aspects of taking losses and understanding the loss, your confidence will increase and you will not worry or be emotional. So those are the 2 psychological aspects of emotional trading: not understanding the unknown and not being able to comprehend what you've done, and also having the attachment to money because you have no other source of income, or you are trading with money you can't afford to lose. So there you go. Do you have some sort of risk management for trade? Do you use sort of a percentage of your balance? How do you calculate your lot size? Well, Vicky, you take a look at your account and you take a look at your comfort level. Some people enjoy risking 50% of their account, but keep in mind that if you do lose 50% of your account, you only have 50% less. So that would be only 2 trades that you could take with your account. What you should look to do is you should look to evaluate what is the safest conditions that I am comfortable trading with. Some people, when they go to a casino, they will only spend $5 and they will play a slot machine for entertainment. Other people will bring $50,000 and gamble as a professional because they know that there's a limited opportunity to make money, get in and get out. So you as a trader have to determine what are you comfortable risking. So when you take a trade and you start seeing your blood pressure rise a bit, that's probably above your risk comfort and you have to drop it down. So most safe trades are between 1% and 2% of your total account value, just as an average. How would you analyze the current downtrend on GCAD? Raja mentioned yesterday follows a trend direction. He waits till 30-minute time frame candlesticks to close, bearish candlesticks to enter. Yeah, so we broke support. Once we broke support, we wait to see if we will go further down or we will continue. So you realize here there's probably not a trade and it's starting to range a bit because we stopped at a previous support level and we're holding at that point. Since you only look at price action, do you relate momentum to the speed of the candle movement? As far as I see, you don't look at momentum stuff ever. No, the speed of the candle doesn't matter. That's volume getting pushed into the market. I got roasted by Ted the second day on the stream. Did I get offended? No. Did I learn something about myself? Yes. Well, that's great to hear. Raja, I'm a bit confused with this one. If we risk 2% per trade, but we take 3 positions on that entry, is that 2%, 2%, 2%? That is incorrect. You should be risking 2% of your overall trade, so you should be dividing 3 positions into 2%. What is the best way to identify trading style is experimenting. Uncle Ted, how did you become rich? With hard work. Have you seen GBP USD? Nope, because not trading today.
Why y'all ask these dumbass questions don't got anything to pertain with trading, man? Ask me some trading related fucking questions, dumbass.
Oh, come on, it's Matt today.
Yep. How about gold, please? Nope, there's no trading today. Only questions related to your trades. How are some things you can suggest new traders to prevent from getting burned or overloaded outside trade one pair, no sleep? Well, that's basically it. You're at this point, don't try and over analyze the structure of a trader. There's no formula. Some people can work on 4 hours sleep, some people can work on 2 meals. It's what you're trying to do as a trader is make sure that you are in optimal health and optimal conditions for your trading. So in other words, no distractions, things of that nature. Whatever it takes for you to be an optimal stage of being able to execute, that's how you should be. Maybe you need to do drugs, maybe you need to drink, I don't know what you need to do, but whatever brings you to an optimal stage for execution, that's how you should be when you're trading. Sorry to ask incomplete question. You want to take trades if you follow your rules. I want to know what candlesticks to follow to enter a trade. There's no such thing as candlestick patterns. Declining trend coming into flat support 1454. Does this have a higher percentage to break or lower? Would you wait preempt basis on the higher probability? A smart trader waits on the break of 4 hour. Well, Miguel, look at the higher time frames like your daily and weekly. Also understand that today is a holiday. Also understand we're coming towards the end of the week, and then figure out what is the probability of breaking 1454 based on the fact there's 2 more days of trading left, where one day today there is actually is a bank holiday. Second of all, look at where we started the week and figure out why you didn't take entries at the higher part of the week and scale into this position at this point instead of looking right now at 1454. That would probably be a better answer and a better observation. So now you know for next week, instead of trying to look at for a trade on a Thursday, trying to see a major support break, you would come back in on the Monday when the candles are forming and the weekly candles forming and make a better assumption and accurate decision so that you can start entering trades on a Tuesday and Wednesday to make sure you have a profitable trade. That would be a better way to plan your day and plan out what you're going to do. Not sitting here in front of a computer on a bank holiday, looking at the 4 hour, praying that some magical thing will happen when you could have had all week to trade from 1470 all the way down to 1454. My observation. All right. I've traded fake 1K to 2K and I've had consistent profitable for 22 days. Next week I'm putting in 2K. Do you guys have any tips for me? Yeah, Jay, do the exact same thing you did for the first 22 days and hopefully maintain your emotional state, because I believe 2K is going to probably be a lot of money for you. And if it's not, you'll have a better opportunity. So maybe start with $200 and be comfortable with the actual emotions coming from executing live. So because the lower time frames make up the higher time frames when trendings are continued, do we just wait for support and resistance to be respected on the move to the continued higher time frames? That is correct. Professional traders make more money than doctors. That is true, unless you're Doctor Strange. Let's see. The Wolf of Wall Street was the ultimate scam artist. At least he is honest for the most part. Well, I guess so. Do you guys look at the monthly, weekly charts to find key resistance support levels? Yep, that helps you. How do you protect your account from a flash crash? As I know it happened to Raja, they're rare, but I wondered. You can't. Ideally, if you're looking at flash crashes, maybe you put yourself in a position where you trade during, where there's no change in liquidity. That probably, or like no gaps in liquidity, because usually flash crashes happen when there's rollovers or there's liquidity leaving the market. Do you only trade New York session? Yes. Do you think? Oh. Do you think moving your stop to break even when you're in trade moves a good distance into profit is a good idea? Of course. I'm curious why gold won't move much even after Trump signed the Hong Kong bill. Well, Richard Harris, check today's calendar. It's Turkey Day. Do you remember your worst day in the market? Yep, I lost 90% of my account. It was back in August of 2016. I was trading GBP AUD, and the news came out, interest rates regarding to AUD in the Asian session, and I kept selling when it kept going up. People have FOMO about gold going up between today and Monday. Well, that's what happens. How did you recover from it? I looked at the mistake I made was trading the news, and I told myself not to do that again. I know you just said there's no candlestick patterns. Do you feel this applies universally? Well, as opposed to what? Like globally? I'm trying to learn from different mentors. Well, that's the first mistake. Learn from one mentor and follow them till your death. How do you stay motivated as a new trader? What's your secret? Please share. Passion. So obviously, Sergio, you do not have passion for this. You should go and do other things. Yesterday, you put a buy stop at GJ at 14700, described that it would go up. How did you analyze it? More than likely the higher time frame. Anybody want to sponsor Little Grip? He wants money. Ted, can you share with us some brokerages are listed in Belize? Is it a widespread industry occurrence or select brokerage providers? Like to hear your thoughts. Okay, so when people open up brokerages, there are certain jurisdictions that have ease of barrier to entry compared to other jurisdictions. And the brokerage industry is not regulated, and Forex is decentralized. So a lot of people open up remote locations so that they can access the market and build out their business. It's not a bad thing. It's a widespread thing, and it's universally known that many corporations have remote offices throughout the world, and that is how you mitigate your tax consequences or jurisdictional things. It doesn't mean that they're trying to scam you or trying to steal from you. It just means that they're working in a more efficient manner. A person, and this is the biggest thing that you can take away in your life, a person, business, or something will do something negative to you no matter what. A person is going to rob a bank no matter what you say to them. They're still going to rob a bank. A person is going to break the speed limit no matter what you say to them or what the consequences is. They're still going to drive over the speed limit. Okay? You have to understand that in this world there are just bad people, and bad people will always run businesses and will always try and steal from you, whether it's regulated, unregulated, licensed, unlicensed. There are always going to be people that are going to look to steal from you. And your job as a human being is to ask the right questions of those people and make sure you do proper due diligence and say, hey, is this person someone who I can trust or not? And if I can't answer that question honestly, I move on. I don't have to make comments about them. I don't have to think about them. I don't have to worry about what they're going to do to somebody else. You in your life have to make sure that you take care of yourself first and then focus on people. Once again, it's similar to when you're on an airplane. The first thing they tell you is when you're going to crash to put your own mask on first, not to help somebody else. Use that mantra in your life and you will get very, very far, because you will keep putting the oxygen mask on yourself, watching other people die around you, and you will feel better because they did not follow the same rule that you did. Because technically speaking, they should be putting their oxygen mask on the same time as you. You shouldn't have to help them put their oxygen mask on. They were given the same instructions as you. They were told the same rules as you. Why now do you have to sacrifice your well-being because of their stupidity? That's the biggest thing that you have to keep in your mind and in your life, is everybody's given the same information. Everybody has the same ability to do things for the most part. Do not put yourself in jeopardy because they did not help themselves. Help yourself first, then help others. You will feel a lot better. Let's see. When is Trader's Domain going to add US30? It is DGI USD. That is US30 on Trader's Domain, because US30 is just an index. DGI USD is an index. Uncle Ted, did you always make this strategy to make money in the market? I didn't always do something. I refined my strategy over the last 5 years. It's always changing.
What if you look at 1 hour in GCAD and GJ is that bullish? I don't think you should compare GPCAD with GJ at this point, because first of all, GPCAD consists of CAD, which is open, and GBP, which is also open. When you look at GPJPY, it consists of JPY, which is closed, and GBP, which is open. So both of them, they won't move the same way necessarily as you would expect them to. So they both will be totally different. The best way to not get FOMO is to really stick to 1 or 2 trades, because no matter who you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, once you start crossing into the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th trade, that's when you start to lose all sight of discipline, all sight of good ideas and stuff like that. So you really need to stick to less trades, because less trades is basically, it's going to put you into the more disciplined traders category, and I think that's very, very important. Because then you can turn around and say, oh yeah, look, I only took 2 trades, and then 2 trades yesterday, 2 trades today, and your trading history is going to look much, much more cleaner, much simple, and that's going to overall help you with discipline too. People sending charts. We're not reviewing charts today because there's no trading today. What happened with Nemo Profits? I don't know. Me and Nemo Profits were friends, but last night, out of nowhere, he messaged me saying that he does not want to see my stories, and I should hide him from my stories, but he doesn't want to unfollow me, and I don't know why he said that. So I guess he got mad at something. It's okay. People go through phases. I got here from your desire to trade interview. I love that you have a clean chart. Where do I start to read the way you do? Well, Bruce Smith, you can come here, you can watch these streams, or you can go through some of the videos I have on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. I told Nemo to, hey, if you don't like my stories, just close your eyes or don't open my stories. And I guess that wasn't enough. Yeah, the funny thing is he started sending me messages and I'm like, oh my God. And you know what I always do when people send me messages? I make a video, I don't read them, I delete them, and then I show them I don't care. And then they get even more mad. Kindly explain how do you look for entries while setting the pending orders? Well, instead of talking about pending orders, I'm going to talk about this right here. So if this was the New York session right now and it was open, I would be looking for two things. Three things actually. One is going to be that price has made a low. Number two is going to be waiting for price to create some sort of a resistance or a bearish candle. Number three is going to be for the price to come down and retest this low. That's the only thing I look at because that's how the market moves. It moves through zones, it makes a series of highs and lows, then there's a very, very high chance price is always going to retest those highs and lows. And that is the edge I play off of. So we are the grandfathers of Forex, I guess.
Yeah. So, Joel, I think what you should do is take today and go through the channel and watch some of the replays. I think if you're trying to watch Harry Potter, like the sixth movie, it may be fun for you, but all that's going to happen is during the movie, you're going to be asking the person sitting beside you, so who's that guy? So what happened here? Why is that guy there? What's going on here? And that person will turn around to you and kindly say, hey, did you watch the first Harry Potter movie, the second Harry Potter movie, the third Harry Potter movie? And you're going to say, no, I just watched the sixth. And they're going to turn around and say, well, all these questions were answered in the first 5 Harry Potter movies. So treat this kind of live stream like the season, like watching your favorite TV show. You know, there's multiple seasons. Right now we're in season like 900 because there's like 100 videos on the YouTube channel. Go back and watch all the previous seasons to see how the characters were developed. Look, and you'll be able to see, where did Ted get his attitude problem from? What season was that? Where did Raja figure out that GCAD was going to do that? What season was that? And what you can turn around and do is you can then come back to season 100, which we're at right now, and you'd be like, man, I'm caught up. This is a great TV show. Or, man, after season 4, these guys are ridiculous. I don't want to ever come back here. That is my advice to everybody, is people should turn around and treat this channel like their favorite TV show or the TV show they never want to watch again. Like, I like watching Ellen DeGeneres on TV, and she's having her 12 Days of Christmas next week. It's going to be very exciting. I like that. But I don't like Kelly Clarkson's new TV show, so I'm not watching that show. I don't sit there and ask Kelly Clarkson to do something different or ask her questions. I just turn her off. But Ellen, I turn on and I watch. So that's probably the best thing that you can do as a trader or someone who wants to learn, is go back and watch the first seasons of Market Fluidity or Wicks Don't Lie on TV. I thought there was clear traffic on the left, so how come it stopped creating the low, high, low, high? Where is the resistance?
Yeah, I don't know which chart is he talking about.
I don't know. Sid's figured out his errors in his ways. Congratulations, Sids. You guys are the best guys I've ever encountered because you answer every question honestly and directly. Well, Harry, that's also a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing that we answer the questions. It's a bad thing that there's two people on the internet who you've never met in life that are the only ones that are honest for you. I saw all your seasons, guys. I'm suspecting the revelation that Raja is your son or something like that.
That's hilarious.
I don't know. I would have had to, I think, have sex with a Pakistani woman? Is that accurate?
When you were, what, 8 years old? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly. I feel Raja is a bit fruity. Maybe you can touch him? No, Raja is like way bigger than I am. I wouldn't want to touch Raja. Oh, here's a good one. Hello, just joined the stream. How do you think GB pairs are going to turn out? Well, I think what's going to happen is there's going to be GBP is going to meet their long lost lover, and there's going to be a little bit of a courtship, and then in the middle of that, the long lost lover of GBP is going to come back and interrupt their relationship, and GBP will have to make a decision. And how that decision turns out for GBP will affect the rest of the movie. That's how I think GBP is going to happen.
Ever lost a bigger amount of money because the terminal broker was frozen? Yes. Yes.
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, and then it got refunded back too because it was the problem on their end.
Yep. Ted FX Project. Who's that guy? That's not me. Are you gonna put the Cybertruck through its paces, Ted? Nope. Ted is not buying the Cybertruck. Ted does not fall for stupid marketing like that. Ted's buying the Roadster because Ted wants to drive fast. Do you guys hold long-term trades or only scalping? Well, we try to turn scalps into swing trades. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Can you trade after you smoke weed? You can do anything you want after doing anything you want. There is no sort of restrictions on what you want to do as a person. Sell opportunity on GBP CAD. Well, that's great. If you want to trade during a bank holiday, enjoy your life.
What do you think about Wayne with his pivot points style? I don't even know what pivot points are, so I have no idea what that means.
Oh man.
I think if you're trading and it's making you stressed, either you're trading way too high of lot sizes or you're expecting a monetary reward to pay off a debt or a bill or something like that. I think when you start trading, you shouldn't be trading in that aspect. You should be looking at it in a way that, okay, can I be right once or can I be right twice? Because if you focus on being just right instead of making money, over time you're going to start making money. Because once you have that confidence in your analysis, once you see things happen over and over, like let's say today price on GPCAD, like if for some magical reason comes back down to retest the low, that would be me anticipating a move and it happening. You know, and if I see this happen like a couple of times, there will be a time down the road where I'll start executing on it. And there will be no stress because I'll be starting with a minimal amount that's not going to affect me. I think that's the one big deal too. Like when people don't have much money in their account, they start off with something substantial, and when they lose it, it really stresses them out. So you really need to take into account that if you deposit an amount, you should already consider it lost, because it will be lost at some point.
I just read that thing that you posted, Raja. That huge long message.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're coming for us.
I just checked that person out too. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's who we're worried about?
Yeah, I mean, we get this every 6-7 months, once every 6-7 months.
It must be having a bad Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Someone comes along and says, you will all gonna suffer.
Yeah.
How do you tell the candles are going to retest and you take trades with that knowledge? Well, once, okay, so the exact things I look for, if this candle, if there's a 30-minute candle printing bearish, then for me, that's like a resistance being created. And that would be the basis of me taking that trade all the way down. But obviously there's going to be no volume in New York, so I'm not going to take that trade, but that's just for like example purposes, if there was volume here today. NU is setting up to fall. Tex-Mex 89. I think you're old enough. Well, I think you're only 2 years younger than me, but at the same time, now when you look at NU, you look at New Zealand, which is closed, then you look at USD, which is closed. So now you gotta ask yourself, hey, does it make sense for me to trade something which is closed? Does it make sense? Does it make sense for you to go to a grocery store on Christmas Eve expecting to buy bread when it's closed? No, it doesn't.
Man, how do you get all the good DMs like that? I didn't get good DMs like that. I checked my DM, I didn't get that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Only
yeah.
you got it. I guess you're the popular.
Yeah, I guess you're not active that much.
Oh, Hans Fruger. Hey Ted, what should we be doing with our platforms and terminals on Traders Domain to document any discrepancies that may occur? Well, first of all, you have to determine what you believe the discrepancy is. If you pull your log out of your journal, you can send that to us and we will confirm the log. A lot of people like to try and pull fast ones on the brokerage. And what I mean by that is they try and think that they've done something when the logs in the terminals record every little thing that you do. The terminal, your MetaTrader terminal, has a keystroke log that connects and that records every little thing that you do in Forex on your terminal. So if you change a screen, you open a trade, you close a trade, you move a stop loss, you cancel a stop loss. So if you believe there's a discrepancy and it's legitimate, we review it and we will always make or take the appropriate actions. But don't try and come in and say, oh, I had a stop loss here and it didn't get hit or blah, 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 because we can see all that information. And it's funny because people try that fun stuff and then we send them back the information where we see the log and they're like, oh, okay, thanks. So be very careful that you actually have a discrepancy or there's something that you're looking at. A lot of it is probably lack of education. Why does spreads widen at certain times? Why did this news event hit my stop loss? All that other stuff. We'll explain it to you, but just be aware that every single thing that you do in your terminal is tracked and recorded, and you have the log and we have the log. So there's not going to be a discrepancy. It's going to be very straightforward. You'll be able to see the exact same stuff what we see. So just something to keep in mind. But you can definitely send anytime you have discrepancies with trading or questions, definitely send it to the brokerage. We answer all the questions. We try and make sure that we give you enough information. There are people that like to argue with us. We will argue until the cows come home with you. That's not a problem. My support staff do enjoy bickering back and forth. They have the same attitude that I do because I've trained them to have that attitude of, you know, at the end of the day, there are thousands of brokerages, thousands of brokers. Your $5 is important to you. We understand that, but you can't argue back and forth with us because this broker does that, that broker does this. You know what? I don't go to McDonald's asking for a Whopper. I go to McDonald's asking for a Big Mac. If I want a Whopper, I go to Burger King. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Ted, you never answer DMs. That's why. I answer DMs where the question is unique and it hasn't already been answered, Lucas. So there you go. Do you think gold will make bigger moves before monthly close? Well, take a look at this week's candle and anticipate what you believe will happen with next week's candle. Because right now, the weekly on the US on the current weekly candle looks to be bearish, if I'm not mistaken, right? So there's a possibility that next week we could either fill that or reject to go further up. And considering this is there's only there's only one more day left in November, it's going to be pretty hard for it to make a high back up to 1475. Ted, will you marry me? No, sorry. What broker do you work for? I own my own brokerage. Some brokers offering 50% deposit if you deposit with them until Black Friday. Hey, that's great. Good luck trying to get that bonus. What are your thoughts on Signal Chat? Should you stay away from them? Just recommendation and thoughts on it. Well, similar to what happens here, people treat this place like a Signal Chat. And what ends up happening is people take trades that they don't understand. And that's the biggest problem with Signal Chats is you're taking trades you know nothing about and you don't understand and you're relying on someone else's tutelage. So what I would suggest is continue learning on your own and only take signals that make sense according to your trading style. What do you think about supply and demand? I can't see a difference between support and resistance and supply and demand zones. Now I'm trying to be a supply demand trader. Well, Starco, supply and demand are single taps and rejections to the opposite direction. Support and resistance are multiple taps. So you can clearly see the difference between a supply zone or a demand zone. So here is a demand zone, right? And here is a support. There is your difference. Pretty cool, eh? That is the difference. So here, this is a demand zone. Single, tap, and rejection. This is support. So, see, multiple taps, support being held, right? And then what you have here is a single tap and a rejection away. So there you go. That is the simplest way to look at support versus a demand zone. How moving averages help us to identify trend? I don't know. All fiat money is going into the bin like Zimbabwe and Venezuela and Turkey and Argentina and Greece and Iran. Daniel J, you're probably right, but what I would do is I would change my grammar there to be Zimbabwe, comma, Venezuela, comma, Turkey, comma, Argentina, comma, Greece, comma, and Iran. And that would be a better way to phrase your statement. Because using the word and is not a very good way to build sentence structure. Uncle Ted, how much did you start with? Money. Why IML lie too much when you can learn from here? Well, IML is IML, and you know, you talk to the CEO who wears a baseball cap and says yo 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 all the time. So, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys work with indicators on MT4, MT5? Nope, don't work on them. Uncle Ted, how much money you start with? I started with 65 cents. Oh, someone's starting holidays early. Do you ever analyze and place trades on your phone without using a computer? Nope. Very, 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 very low. Yeah, I started with 65 cents. That's a lie, Uncle Ted. Well, how much do you think I started with? And then just use that number, because that'll probably help you. You had a 50% deposit bonus for your 65 cents? Nope, I only got 14% bonus. Can US clients use Trader's domain? There is a disclosure along the bottom. You can read that and it will help you, give you information. Hey Ted, what is your experience in Walmart? My experience varies from very positive to very negative. I've tested that with the fact on different days I've gone, different times I've gone, I have not found a correlation between my happiness and the times of day that I've gone to Walmart. Because I've gone to Walmart at 8 a.m. on a Sunday thinking that it would be a great experience, and I was sadly disappointed. And I went to Walmart during the day on a Saturday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, dreading things, and it was actually a pleasant experience. I think I have to do more research into correlating how much time I'm actually spending in Walmart based on my happiness. And I think there is a deflating curve. And I've noticed that the longer I spend in Walmart, the more upset I get about Walmart. So what I've done is I've tried to limit my time in Walmart to under 10 minutes. I do this because I own an electric vehicle, so I don't have to worry about gas driving to the mall. I have a lot of free time, so I decided that instead of trying to make one longer trip of 30 or 40 minutes, if I just get in there in like 5 or 10 minutes and carry things by hand, I am much more efficient and I'm happier that way. So I've chose to live my life a certain style so that I can maintain my happiness. What site do you use for gold news? Forex Factory. If you were in GBP CAD shorts before the break of support and the retest down here in your favor, is that an opportunity for a double down? Probably not, because there's not enough confirmation to say that this trade is going down. How about start with money that you're okay with? Yep, that's very true. If price closed below the support and you didn't close below the demand zone, would you do it? It became a sell bias or wait for a long trade? Well, it doesn't look like a short trade, because you can see that the candles were moving up and that support was created to then continue further up. Women are quite good in trading. Yes, they are. Uncle Ted, Trader's Domain could use Visa, MasterCard deposit withdrawal very shortly. What is the worst experience in Walmart? When there are no shopping carts for me and I need to do shopping. How long did it take you to learn to trade and profit overall consistently? About 22 and a half days. Ted, with GJ, we have 4-hour support zone at 141, 350, but then we have a demand zone, but there's potential low for area for a short price now. What's your thoughts here? I'm not trading today, so there's no thoughts. It's so hard to spend 10 minutes in Walmart because the lines are as long. Nope, you go through self-checkout, they're very fast.
I don't understand who keeps asking you about Walmart.
I don't know, it's entertaining though. Ted, how much money do you need to invest to open a brokerage? About $350. How important are candles at the right of a clean candle? They can't be at the right because the right's the future. Ted, did you start on demo? No, I had money. I didn't care about that stuff. When you say low leverage, what's the best definition of low leverage, best ratio? I mean, that answer can't be, you can't have an answer to that question. It doesn't make sense. It's just rather confusing. Lots of confusion around here. Is IC Markets a good platform to trade on? Sure. Anyone read about bank collapse in China about to crash? Yeah. Oh well. Oh, how important are candles at the left of a clean candle? Well, I mean, it does help you to understand where potentially price can move. And most times there is a mirror opportunity. So Joel, once again, this is a question that you can go onto your charts and you can review those opportunities. So what you could turn around and do is you can do this. This looks like a pretty clean candle, and we had a clean move here, right? So those mirrored. So maybe there's a potential that as this candle continues to fall, it will mirror this, because once again, in this space right over here, it's very empty, right? We have nothing in the middle where we have a bunch of stuff over here and we have nothing over here. So there's a good possibility that if there is bearish momentum over here, that you'll have a clean candle and the move will happen right back over to here. Just saying. But you might have already seen that this move here happened already because of this, and this move here happened because of this. Ever thought that you were thinking too much about trading or feeling addicted to it? Nope, because I have other hobbies. When you join Market Fluidity, how does the mentor pair up work? Well, Hans, you work with Raja because he is Market Fluidity. If, for example, you have a bullish candle without wicks and the market moved candle downside, do you consider the same candle as liquidity area? I have a car, has 6 wheels. 2 of the wheels are smaller than the other 4, but the other 4 wheels are bigger than the other 2 wheels I have on my other car. This car is blue compared to my other car that is white. Now the white car goes a little bit slower than the faster blue car. I would show you pictures, but I'd rather just give you a discussion so that you can be confused, because that's what you did, Dialgo. Please post a chart. How thick are your zones supposed to be when drawing your support and resistance? Well, Trevon, it really depends on how do you like your human being? You know, maybe you like women, maybe you like men. Do you like your men or women thick, or do you like them thin? So that's really a discretionary thing. So you determine, like some people like their women thick, right? You hear that terminology, I like a thick woman. Well, maybe you have a thick support or resistance line. Maybe you like thin women, so you'll have a thin support and resistance line. Maybe you like men, you have a thick man or a thin man, right? It's really discretionary. You just choose what you feel comfortable with, because at the end of the day, you are the one who is working on your chart. So if there is something that's going to help you on your chart, add it. It's okay. It's sort of like when you turn around and you're being Jamie Oliver in your kitchen and you're cooking a nice meal. You read the instructions. Hey, I like cheese. I'm going to add a little bit more cheese than what the instructions tell me to, because I like cheese. Hey, I don't like cheese. I'm going to take away the cheese out of the ingredients or the instructions on this recipe. It's all discretionary. So you can choose how you feel to draw lines, to place different areas, and you can do what you feel is necessary to help you be a successful trader. That is the best thing that you can do as a person. Uncle Ted, why do you always moan and cry? No, I don't moan and cry at all. I like to answer questions the way they're presented and give answers the way the questions were presented. So a lot of these questions are moaning and groaning questions, maybe, and that's why you feel my answers are moaning and groaning. Any book you suggest to learn about your style of trading? Harry, there are about 100 videos on this channel. Better than books. And if you want, you can just plug in your headphones and listen to it like an audiobook if you want.
See, so something we were talking about, there's no volume, but this would be a picture perfect setup for the New York session. If New York session was open. Price made a low, came up. It's once this candle closes bearish, you have established the resistance, which was support, and the next candles would have a high probability to continue down and retest this low. What you're going to do is you will measure your stop. The stop should be at least 10-11 pips. TP should be at least what, like 15-16 pips. And yeah, that's basically what I normally look for every day. Now you have to keep in mind that this setup, this has a 70 to 80% win rate, and I take this setup every day whenever it shows up, and I keep winning. Sometimes I lose, but most times I win. And then people get angry. Oh, look at this guy.
Do you ever trade breakouts? So would you ever consider taking the trade on the break of this zone?
Yes. That would have been with the stop being above the previous candle. You know, because then when you're trading a breakout, that basically means that you're anticipating a bearish run, right?
Yeah.
So when you're looking at candles, you're anticipating candles to keep on making lower highs and lower lows.
Yeah, okay. Because I found like a lot of the times I actually do wait for this, but like especially the GBP pair, GJ and GCAD, there's times where they'll just break through zones and come back for no retest whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. Most times it always does some sort of a retest. It's a small retest, maybe it's with a wick or something like that. Sometimes, you know, price falls really, really hard and the retest comes in the next session.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking that you see this wick here. I was thinking that on like, I'm guessing on a day when there's normal volume, that would have been the retest and it would just continue falling.
Yes.
That's what I took myself today after the retest.
Oh, nice. I'm guessing you're out then.
Yeah, I closed 20 pips.
Oh, nice.
In most of my trades, I take exit too early. Can you give me advice to prevent that? Yes, I think when you're taking exit too early, you're afraid of the profits you have. Maybe your lot size is too big, or maybe, you know, you've taken a lot of losses in the past, so that still haunts you. The best thing to do is to put your stops at break even and just let it play out. You know, the more times you let it play out, the more comfortable you're going to get, because then you're going to say, okay, you know what? I've seen this run most times, then come back. So then that's where your confidence is going to come in. So the best way is to just let it play out. Like yesterday we had a GJ sell. I can't find it. I think it was, oh yeah, it was right over here. Day before yesterday, was it? It was on the 15-minute. Somewhere over here, yeah, over here. So price made a low, came up, I took a sell, and then I held some positions all the way down to the retest of this low. You see all these candles going up and down. I had a runner running, so I just decided to let it go, and it went. And then that proved that, oh, okay, it works. It's kind of like the same thing is going to happen on GP CAD. What do you do when you enter in a trade and the market goes to consolidation? Well, you exit the trade. If price back to enter zone and print bullish candle, then it makes fake out and buy it? No, that means you stay back, you relax because you already exhausted one trade opportunity, so you need to just sit back and watch what's happening. The next candles probably go up a little bit and go down. Well, let's see what happens. Do you always enter at market price? Yes. Any thoughts on GJ tapping 141.80 and fall down? Will it retest 139? Well, Adrian Tatar, you need to send a chart. And when you send a chart, I will see what your levels are, and that's going to help us a lot. I'm not moving my screen from this chart. So you need to send a chart. Oh, actually, let's take a look here. Yeah, 141.80 is far, far away. You know, how far is that? It's pretty far away. Yeah, 140.80, it needs to break above this area right here and then go above this area here. I mean, trading GJ is very hard. I mean, you can take it for it to come down, but you know, it's a holiday today, Thanksgiving. Do you then close the sell and buy expecting to bounce off support? No, I don't do that. I go with one trade idea, like look at this. If this was no Thanksgiving, I would be in GP CAD sells once this candle broke the low of the previous one. It's party time.
Good.
So someone sent me a message here. How do you join market fluidity? This is in my Instagram DMs. You know, and these questions I just delete them because they don't qualify to join market fluidity. Even though they have the money to pay, but they don't qualify. Why? Because they lacked the ability to go to my profile and analyze their answer, which they didn't. So that tells me that they won't be good at analyzing charts either. So, you know, I look for simple traits in people and either they fail or they pass. Today's holiday conditions, those cells didn't work yesterday. That thing shot through the roof. No sell yet. Oh. Happy Thanksgiving, Forex family and all the stream. Peace, love, positive energy, and market fluidity. Yes, thank you, thank you. Is the boot camp available only in your location? I don't understand your question. Is there a meeting in Chicago today? Yes, if you go to a hotel, there are always meetings going on. Iron Man.
Wow, Chicago? Are you serious, bro?
No, it's Iron Man. He's just, yeah, he's kidding.
Iron Man making fun of the guy from yesterday. Damn.
Yeah.
Iron Man's a little old.
Adrian Tatar, I don't think you will be a good fit for market fluidity, but there are all other services that are on Black Friday sale today. You can go check them out. With the Canadian current accounts, how has that been released negative? Canadian current accounts. I don't know what that means. Oh, Canadian current accounts. Yeah. See, nothing happened. Was it positive? It was negative. Nothing happened. Maybe this wasn't a market moving news, I guess. Thanksgiving to Wix on Fly. Thanksgiving to everybody today. Can I get half off on this live stream? Yes, FX Focus. If you send an email, we will refund you your money you paid for the live stream, and there you go. You got your half off today.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Vincent.
How are you, bro?
Good, man. Good, good.
Good morning, rakeel.
Hello, good morning. At what time would you TP current GJ short? Well, I am not in GJ short, so I'm not looking for TP on GJ shorts. Because if you see right here, it says, first of all, you should not be trading. But if you are, wait for price to create higher low, blah, 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 and that will be a winning trade. But the first condition is you should not be trading because, you know, there's a Thanksgiving, right? It's bank holiday, and certain things can happen which you don't expect them to happen. So with low volume, I mean, it's just normal like that. And I've learned that when there's less volume and if you want price to play out a certain way, normally it doesn't really do that. So that's why I said over and over again that if this was in a normal New York session, I'd be in sells on GPCAD. But it's not a normal New York session. I know that today is a bank holiday and there's no volume, but I wanted to know how you determine the volume in the market at time of volatility, looking at data window or something else. Well, what you need to do is you need to look at the times, right? So when you come in on the stream at like 6:30 a.m. Eastern, you need to realize that that is the pre-New York session, right? Pre-New York session has some volume, and then you go towards some sort of consolidation from like 7 a.m. to like 7:45, and then you have some more volume push around 8 a.m., which is the New York Open. And if there's still, and then at New York Open, you still get some volume, and then you start to look at that, okay, if prices may be consolidating at that time, you look at, okay, when's the next time when there's going to be volume? So that's going to be around NYC Open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So there are certain times in the market you keep in mind. When you're looking at London, pre-London has some volume around 1:30 a.m. Eastern till like 2:30, and then there's London Open, that has a lot of volume and volatility. There's also a lot of volume at London close, between the hours of 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, it's very simple. Like when you come to the charts every day, all this information, it becomes natural. It just flows naturally. So I talked that fast because that information is engraved in my head. I didn't even have to think about it. It's just there. It's like tying your laces without even looking, or without even thinking about tying your laces. It becomes second nature. Less volume means more ranging. Yes. Holiday trades are usually drawdowns. That is correct.
Trade on the holiday, lose more money.
Yeah. Yeah, the money you save on Black Friday sales is what you lose in the market.
I think if everybody just turns around and writes down on a piece of paper on their phone, or if they're trading on their desk or their laptop, that Forex is open year round, and I don't have to trade every day, I think you'll be better off. I think a lot of people just have to start saying that in their heads, that I don't have to trade every day. And a good thing is, when you say that to yourself, is go back and look at your best trades. This is the best thing that you can do on a day like today. Go back over the last 6 months and highlight your best trades out of your MetaTrader terminal, or your whatever terminal you're using. Highlight your best trades and go and study those trades and look at them and look at what you did on that day to get that best trade, and see how many times you had those best trades. And what that will remind you of is, it will remind you that today I don't need to take a trade. I don't need to worry about that, because 3 months ago I had a trade that ran 200 pips and I made like 15% on my account. And those are the times that you have to remember. And if you have to, make a journal of just your top trades and carry it around in your pocket or something, or put it on your phone as a note saying, my top trades throughout my trading career were these. And let those be reminders that on days like this, where conditions aren't optimal, that there's no need to force a trade. There's no need to take trades. Just really discipline yourself into understanding the bigger picture, because us as humans, you can really spiral yourself out of control if you start looking at things in the short term. If you start looking today saying, oh man, like I got to go out to dinner tonight, I need like $500, so I better trade and make that money. If you start looking at that, and you look at trading as that way to make money and to move through that, you're going to have difficulties. What you should be doing is saying, hey, I have a bill to pay at the end of the month. I'm not going to be paying that bill with the money from trading today, because I haven't traded, so I have to figure out alternative. And I think that's comes down to better planning of your life and realistic expectations about what you're going to do. If you have a $200 account, I can guarantee you're not flipping it to 400 today to turn around and pay a cell phone bill. It's going to be very, very unlikely, and you're going to be taking risks that will put yourself in a worse position in a higher degree than it would be in a better position. And I think that is what you need to focus on, is just focus on what you had in terms of the best trading days, and look to replicate those days, and look at those days and say, what was the common theme of those days? And as you start to do a deep dive in your trading, you'll start to realize that, man, there's only probably 2 or 3 days that you're super profitable in terms of trading, and the rest of the days are hit or miss. You know, you may win one day, you may lose that day, and as you gain more confidence with that information, you're going to find that there's probably 1 day a week that you should be trading, and the other days are there for your liking, but you're not going to be looking for super good opportunities as you would with other days that you had that profitable. Ted, since you begin trading, have you taken long breaks from charts? Yep, I take a month off every year, and I take a couple weeks off in the summer. I take a week off here and there when I'm out doing things. Yeah, it's always good to have a break. It's not a problem to have a break. But really, days like today where you want to be in front of the charts and you want to work on charting, you should be looking at how I did my best trades and how can I replicate those best trades, and where did I do my worst trades, and what do I have to avoid with those worst trades. You're going to find that there's a lot more information that you're going to get out of your own trading journal than asking myself or Raja or anybody else trading what you could do to improve or how to do this or how to do that. You're going to find it's all in your charts and what you've been trading, and you're going to find so much information, and you're going to be surprised. You're going to look at it and be like, damn, like I didn't even realize I was doing that. I didn't realize I was selling at support. I didn't realize I was buying at resistance. I didn't see that at all. Like, what was I thinking? And you're going to feel so much more comfortable about that. And really, really look at that as a whole, and you're going to find that it's going to be good for yourself. What do you think about trading in December and January? Do you think Forex care find out? I'm sorry, I can't read that question. Did you in your Forex? Oh, career. Oh, okay, sorry. Find out what months it doesn't make sense to trade at all. Well, I just look at the fact that do rich people trade at the holiday times, or do they spend times with their family? All right. Is it okay to join market fluidity first and observe for a bit before I take any live trades? Hans, you can do anything you want with any type of information. Market fluidity, Raja will let me speak on his behalf for this 5 seconds. He does not make you do anything that you don't want to do. You choose your destiny. You choose the path. He just provides a framework for you. That's all. So don't ever worry about that.
But the thing about leverage is that you have to understand how to hedge your risk. If people are talking about Forex and they're talking about trading Forex and they don't know how to trade options, and how do you hedge that high leverage? Please tell me. See, with options trading, you still have high leverage, and with futures trading, you still have
What good are demo accounts? They're not good at all. We've seen that on the Torch Challenge. I think with one thing you don't learn in demo accounts is emotions, when it comes to trading. Those emotional aspect of trading is not learned in demo accounts, and that's what makes you fail when you're trading live. Because you're in a position, you're looking at all time frames, you're looking at the 1 minute time frame. I mean, it's just not the same. I'm digging the beats today. Thank you. These beats are here every day. You can't open a live account and open MetaTrader and place a buy stop because you won't know how to place a buy stop. That is true. If you don't know how to place a buy stop, you can't place it. Why aren't you billionaires? Well, I don't think you understand the scale of a billion.
The same reason you're not a billionaire.
Man, people don't understand how big a number a billion is. They don't get it. They don't. For comparison, so I was reading this one article. There are in 1 million seconds. 1 million seconds are 3.5 days or something like that. 1 million seconds are like 3.5 days. Imagine what 1 billion seconds are.
It's interesting when people always talk about that, like, why aren't you a billionaire, or why don't you have this or that? It's people don't understand that the idea behind making money, it doesn't come from doing the same thing over and over again. It comes from becoming more efficient and expanding how you do things. I think there will be no billionaire traders at a retail level because there's no real incentive to become a billionaire from trading. Think about it logically. You trade. The idea behind trading is you want to do the least amount of work possible and generate income that is sustainable for you. Once you get to a few $1,000,000, you're too consumed with doing other things. And I can speak from experience. I can say that, like, I really have no motivations to trade. I do enjoy trading, but when I first started, I was really motivated to get to a point in my life, and I got there. Now I'm sort of on cruise control, and I'm just happy doing things, and I've diversified into other businesses. I'm working on other things. There's not a motivation for me to sit here and pound away at like 15 or 20 100 lot trades to try and see if I can make 5 million in a day. It doesn't make sense to me, because I'm at a point now that I can sit here and have a good time. I don't have to worry about anything, and I can really be comfortable and take what I need out of the market each day, and not try and shoot for billionaire status, which is highly unattainable and puts you in a position where you're in competition with people that are bigger than you. Think about it this way: always be a big fish in a small pond. Be the guy that can play basketball against 80-year-old guys and beat the crap out of them. Like, enjoy your life. Like, why would you want to kill yourself playing against NBA players just so you could say that you played with NBA players? That's ego. That's the dumbest thing you can do. There's poker players that are professional that will play against businessmen, and the businessmen will lose millions to them just so that they could say they played against the best poker players in the world. That's just absurd. You're giving away money just so that you can hang around with the best poker players in the world? That makes no sense. Just go up to them and shake their hand and say, hey, you're pretty good at poker. Like, why would you have to prove to yourself that you played with them and then lose money in the process? Like, it's such a dumb concept. I'll never understand that. Money, at the end of the day, is money. And people have to realize that is, you throw $1 away, you've thrown $1 away. Like, it doesn't change because you have more dollars in your pocket. The reason why you have more dollars in your pocket is because you were smart in attaining those dollars. And by you throwing money away, now you're doing the opposite of what you did to try and collect that money. So I think as you grow as a trader, you're going to realize your values, your beliefs, what your original goals were, they shift. Maybe you have a family, maybe you buy a house, maybe you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you guys decide to settle down, and you're like, hey, I never have to work again in my life. Like, I can just enjoy myself. You're going to find that the billionaire status, as people think, most people, they don't go out and they don't try and say, hey, I'm going to become a billionaire. Jeff Bezos, when he created Amazon, never turned out and said, hey, I want to be a billionaire in 10 years. It just happened. And it happened because of the fact that he disrupted something. Unless you disrupt an industry, it's very hard for you to become a billionaire. It's just facts of life. I mean, you're not going to be a billionaire becoming a car salesman. Like, it's not going to happen. You can try, but you're going to burn yourself out more than the fact that you're going to get there. It's just you have to realize that you're going to find out that, like, once you make your first 5,000 or 10,000 in trading, you're going to have a different outlook. You're going to be like, okay, cool, I made 10,000, I made 5,000 trading. I'm happy. Like, I can buy a pair of shoes, I can go out and have a dinner. But you're going to turn around and be like, man, I need to make 100,000. No, you're going to turn around and you're going to look at what the $5,000 and $10,000 bought you and what kind of freedom it gave you. It wasn't all about the fact that you were going for 2 million or 10 million. It's just people have that mentality because you have no money right now, so you feel that you need $1 billion. Trust me, you don't need $1 billion. You maybe need a basis point of that, so a percentage of 1% of that. I think that's what you need to live.
Yeah, do you think at that level, with having millions as such, would there be a massive jump in, apart from investment opportunities and stuff, would there be a massive jump in being a billionaire, lifestyle wise? I mean, it'd be the same, no?
Well, a billionaire, you're at a different. The difference is, so say for example, like, I know people that are in that upper regions, like hundreds of millionaires. Like, I know people that have that kind of money, and I've been introduced to them because I reached a certain financial level. And those people, it's paper. It doesn't, like, they're not spending. Like, when you think about a billionaire, or like someone who has like tens of millions of dollars, like I know a couple people that have tens of millions of dollars.
Yep.
They're literally not spending it, and you can laugh about that, and you'll say, oh, like, why are they not? They should be spending it, and I'd be buying jets, I'd be buying this.
Yeah.
They don't use it. Like, you think you're going to use all that stuff, but you don't.
Yeah, that's
like
what I mean.
They've got like 4 or 5 houses, and really they like one of the houses the most, and they stay there the longest.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's hard to explain, but the people that I know that have that kind of money, they're very, very quiet. They live a very subdued life.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they enjoy the best of everything. But the thing is, you have a steak, and I've had good steak and I've had shitty steak. When you buy a $200 steak versus a $500 steak, there's not that much difference.
Yeah, that's the kind of step I see from $1 million to $1 billion.
Yeah.
You're still going to be comfy in your life. You probably just have better opportunities for investments and stuff, like you said, at different level. But I think overall there wouldn't be a big massive change lifestyle wise. You'd still be the same person.
No, like, don't get me wrong. Like, you go from having $1,000 in your bank account to having 100,000. Yeah, it's life changing. 100%.
Yeah,
it's an exponential change. But when you go from having $1 million to having 10 million, what are you doing?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wondered. I've always thought that. I mean, just $1 billion, it's just an extra zero. When you get to that level where it's like 90 million, I don't think you'd be that bothered.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I look at what I do right now, and honestly, it's the biggest truth that I've learned is the more money you have, the more problems you have. And people say, how's that possible? Oh, trust me, it is. You don't realize the headaches that you develop because you have access to finances. The constant barrage of people asking you for stuff, the reliance that people have on you, the fact that you're constantly having to worry about the decisions that you're making, working with people, can you trust them? Are they just looking to take advantage of the fact that you have a certain net worth? It's a very, very different thing. And, everyone has no money, they turn around, they're like, how can that be possible? Trust me, when you get to a certain level, you're looking over your shoulder because of the fact, and it's not paranoia, it's just that there's so many people that are trying to grab from you.
Yeah.
I can use it as an example. Like I've got family, extended family, that message me out of the blue, and they're like, oh, like I've heard from so and so, like my immediate family. Oh, you've been doing really well. Hey, would you like to go out and
Yeah.
talk and stuff like that? That's like, man, I haven't heard from you in years.
Yeah, that happens for people that win the lotto or something, and then there'll be like people come out from their town or something. They'll be like, "I haven't seen you since school," which was like 15 years ago. It's like one of your
Yeah,
best mates
and
again.
it's almost like like I almost turn around and I help as many people as I can. Don't get me wrong, I do a lot of charity work behind the scenes. Like I don't promote any of that because that's my own doing. That's my own way to give back. And I don't think that I have to put that on display for people. I don't think I have to show, hey, I'm a big guy, I can do charity work. It's like, no, I do my own charity work. When I do free seminars, I always ask people to make donations, so that they can help somebody else, because I don't need the financial support. I never have. I've donated tons of money because it's important to help people, and I always make sure when I make a donation, I go see the place that it's getting donated, and I stand there and I make sure that certain people get certain things. Like I've done that where, like, I'm a big proponent of the food bank. And I always, when I donate money to the food bank, I always stay there and I make sure I talk to the people that are getting the food, and I get a sense of why they need what they need. And it's not intrusive. I don't ask questions that pry in people, but I want to get a sense of who am I helping? And in my mind, it's like, what can I do better as a person now to solve some of those problems? Because I'm giving you food so you can eat, but how can I change the dynamic for you so that you're not visiting the food bank to get food? And that's sort of how, when I do charity work, I like to meet the people that I'm working with. Things like I've gone to shelters and I've done, like, the food, like you give out food to people, and I've sat with people and I've just wanted to know their story, because what it does, it gives me perspective on what's going on in the world, and really, are people, and some people are legitimately making excuses. And I've talked to people, I've talked to homeless people before, and I've been in the shelter, and I've on like certain holidays gone and served food, brought food in, and done all that stuff on my own. And people always ask me, they're like, who are you? I'm like, I'm just a regular guy, like, and people, and I talk to people, and it's like, oh, I've done this and this and this, and then you sort of sit there and you're like, man. And I talked to one guy, actually, it was back in the Thanksgiving during the holidays in October, and I do the food bank. I donate money, food to the food bank, and then I'll go to the shelters and I'll serve food. Like, I'll always bring in extra food and serve people. And there's a couple of people that you realize you can't help them. And you give them opportunity, and you say, hey, like, what are you good at? Oh man, you don't understand. Like, I was trying to do this, and these people are screwing me over here, and it's like
excuses and giving up.
Yeah, and I said to them, I'm like, well, no, I said, there's opportunity. I said, I can introduce you to people that will give you opportunity in the city. I have a very big network, and they're like, no, man, you don't understand. Like, these people just don't get how I operate. I said, well, I worked in the same environment where people didn't get how I operated, but sometimes you have to make that sacrifice just to get that paycheck. And cut the ego out. He's like, no, man, I can never do that. I can't deal with those kind of people. And it's interesting to hear those perspectives. And then there are some people that genuinely want to be helped, and I've helped people, and I've given them opportunity and things like that. I've sometimes driven on the highway, and I've seen someone that had a sign. I was at the Raptor game the other night, and a guy was sitting there, and he's like, I'm waiting for housing, and he spelled housing wrong. I mean, I sort of chuckled about it, but then when I laughed, I'm like, shit. Now I have to give him something because I laughed at his sign, and that's putting me, like, I'm putting him down in my head. So now I did something. So I helped him out, and he sort of asked me, like, what I did and stuff like that. And I said, no, I don't do much, but I said, I have the opportunity to help. And I said, maybe this will help you a little bit forward. Right. And he said, thanks for everything. And I said, yeah, that's not a big deal. But I shouldn't have laughed at his sign, but I did. And because I'm evil like that, I pay back my evil by doing something good. If I hadn't laughed at his sign, I wouldn't have given him money. Let's put it that way.
Massive. That's for him. That's huge.
Yeah.
Whereas for
So
you,
going back to the billion thing. And did you know a UK billion and a US billion are different? A US billion is it 1,000 million? 100,000 million, whereas a UK billion is a million.
Yeah, million.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we high rollers.
Wow.
We ain't playing around. There's only about 3.
That is.
I totally get one. A number should be a number, shouldn't it?
God.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
A million.
I like Hans's question. Here's a question. What compels accomplished traders like you guys to spend time educating the masses, even when a lot of time is watering dead flowers? Well, I you know what? Let's put it this way. From my perspective, you basically have a video camera on a group chat. A lot of us talk daily, like myself, Chris, Ryan, Simon, Raja, like all the guys on the live stream here in the Zoom chat. We have our own private chats. We talk, and we don't really share charts when we talk there. But like when it's time to work, we work over here, and we have our own private sort of trading channel and do our stuff. But here it's more of like you guys are just like sort of got a video camera on on a glimpse of what we do. You're not affecting us. You may think that we're doing something great here, and I appreciate the fact that people think we're doing something good, but we do this every day on our own anyways, so you're not taking anything away from me. Like I think the biggest person that makes the biggest sacrifice right now is Raja. He makes the biggest sacrifice because he's the one that has to show up for this stuff. Me, if I don't show up, I don't care. You guys are on your own. I don't give a shit. I got stuff to do, right? But Raja's the dedicated one, and I mean that's not me being an asshole, but that's just me saying, like, when people say, why do you guys do this? I'm never compelled to be here. I'm just here because I enjoy hanging out for a couple hours, everybody, and then I get on with my day. The fact that people learn something because we are talking openly and candidly, I think that's great. But it's not like, fuck, I don't give a shit about any of you. And that's just me being honest. I mean, I rather tell you the truth. Like, obviously, if I see you burning in a car, I'm going to try and help you. Or, like if there's an alligator trying to bite you, I'll try and sort of fight off the alligator for you. But man, like, I don't get off the YouTube stream and be like, man, I wonder what those guys are doing now on YouTube. Like, or if I wake up late or I have other things to do during the morning, I'm like, oh man, I wonder what's going on the YouTube stream. Like, it doesn't cross my mind. When I'm here, I help as much as I can because that's the nature of who I am as a person. But don't get it twisted. I'm not waking up in the morning going, yeah, live stream. I can't wait to answer questions. It's just, it's just the flow of the morning, right? I still make sure my trades are good. I still make sure I take proper entries. And it's just a byproduct of it. That's all.
So you don't DM Raja when he's late, then, no?
No, I always think about it this way. I watched Batman Rising, I think, or the one with Bane. I watched that movie with Bane. I watched it the other day on TV, and I always think when Raja doesn't show up for the stream that that he's Bruce Wayne and I'm Alfred the butler, and I see him at the end like he's in some patio somewhere, and we just cheers each other because he's moved on and he's decided never again is he coming back to Forex or anything, that he's accomplished everything. So that's why I never DM him or ask him if there's a live stream, because I'm like, maybe today was the day he just decided he's had enough.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, it's the last part of the Batman movie where he's in the back and they're like, because Alfred said, he's like, one day I want to be able to do this and be able to see you, and one day you're not going to be here, and it's just like that was the day Raja left.
That was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and then Alfred cheers because I guess Bruce Wayne pays his bill, and then Alfred sort of looks at him and cheers, and then Selena Kyle is there with the Bruce Wayne, and they're hanging out.
Can you imagine social media on Monday if this didn't happen?
Oh, that's what I mean. It would be great. Like one day, just like all of a sudden, everything just disappears, and it's like, what happened?
So someone just turned off the switch, man. It's
Yeah.
like,
Raja was not the hero that we wanted, but the hero we needed.
happens. So you got to pay attention every single day.
Yeah.
Take the most out of it.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
But like you said, though, same for me. It's like I would still be able to do what I do without this, if that makes sense. But it's just awesome now having the platform to be able to chit chat with people and not be so not lonely, but that's kind of the way, because you got time to have a chit chat with people and see what people are saying. It's pretty interesting. Cool.
Nemo just attacked me for no reason.
Oh, see,
this drama wasn't meant to be. This wasn't even meant to be drama. It's two guys who have voice in this community who've had multiple conversations on how we plan to change it. Don't preach positivity in Robinhood webinars if you're going to be toxic yourself. At the end of the day, Robinhood was still a thief. Make your money and help people. It's simple. Well, that's what we do.
That's what we've been talking about, funnily enough.
People know. See, here's the thing. People know who I am as a person. If you've been around me long enough and you've spoken to me, you know I don't give a damn about anybody. And I just try and give you the best information I can to help you out. I could care less about anybody and what they think, but it's other people that worry about my plate all the time for some reason. It's like, oh, you can't say that. You can't do that. But I don't care. I don't care. Like, if I hurt your feelings, don't talk to me ever again. You'll be better off. Trust me. Like, why? Like, that's like saying, hey, there's a brick wall over there. Do you think I can go through it if I run fast enough? And that's me saying, yeah, keep going. Oh, you didn't get through it. Try again. Oh, but I'm hurting myself. Don't worry about it. Just keep trying.
I'm gonna have to start following more people on Instagram. I'm missing out on so much stuff. Oh dear. So much aggression. The more people I start following, my feed becomes more aggressive. It's more and more arguments. What was the dude's name in Die Hard? Every time I see the Hans' name, I start thinking.
Yeah, it was Hans.
Hans Gruber, I think.
That's it. Yeah, I've been thinking for ages. Like, why does it keep reminding me of? I keep looking and thinking, that's Die Hard. What's Die Hard? He is the baddie, wasn't he? Yeah.
Hans Gruber.
That's it, man. Yeah.
Grubber. Haha, grubber.
What you guys got planned for the day? You got much to do?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of same. Yeah.
I'll see what goes on throughout the day.
Have you still got awful weather?
Yeah, it's raining right now.
Yeah, lovely.
Oh, I've been on mute all this time.
Oh.
This button on the mic, I had it muted all this time. I said, what the fuck? They're ignoring me.
At least you did an analysis and you found out eventually.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about like how slowly it's moving because there's less volume today.
Great insight.
Fuck. Have fun, black box trading. Have fun.
Hey, Rakeel, what are you saying for the day?
Nothing. I'm gonna do some back and triceps after this. Like maybe I'll leave to the gym in like half an hour.
Nice.
And then yeah, it's gonna be a regular day. Like my every day I have a set routine, and I just follow that routine. I was talking about this on my live streams yesterday. My IG live.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and everything I do, I try to do it like better every day. Like I come to the live streams in the morning, I try every day. I try to do the live stream better than yesterday. After that, I go to the gym. I try to outwork myself from yesterday. I come back. I make highlights or and like plot out charts, like re-plot out charts. I try to do them better than yesterday. So like my whole day is like set in a very very strict regiment. It's like a routine.
We're gonna have some more conspiracies tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you talking anything? I don't think that's a grammatically correct question. Why don't you trade Nasdaq 100 index? I've never looked at that, so that's why I don't trade it. Look at this.
Never looked at that either.
Look at this market structure on 15 minutes. Made a high, came down, created a mini resistance, candle closed bearish below the support. Now there's a high chance for this to come down to this area here. When you look at it on the 30 minute, it's just one clean candle heading down, broke the low of the previous one to come down and retest this low. I think this is going to be the only highlight for today. An example of a trading setup.
You just have to fast forward it though.
Yeah.
So slow.
Took 3 fucking hours.
Yeah.
I'm short on USD Mexican from the wick. Not sure if I want to take profits or hold. Well, Kartik Kumar, I think it's Thanksgiving. No one should be trading. I mean, I don't know, man.
Nope.
It's just. Happy Thanksgiving. Thought we weren't going live today. Yeah, the only reason I went live today is to make sure no one takes a trade.
Oh, I've not even opened my charts today.
Yeah.
Not even contemplated it.
Alright, let's take a look at this here. VIP sales.
Oh yes, thingy took your Friday sales tomorrow.
Let's take a look at these VIP sales. What do you got?
Did you get a new screen in the end?
No.
No. It's a big good fun, no?
Yeah, I don't think I need it. I want it, but I don't need it, so I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I don't have a need for it yet.
Depends how cheap they are, man.
Yeah, look at this, $100.
Yeah,
now that's discipline.
That's not discipline. That's being tight.
yeah, that too. Let's see what we can find here in monitors. Oh, they only got 5 monitors on sale.
Man, that's proper cheap.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap here.
Compared to here.
This is This is also in CAD too. You know.
Yeah.
This is
That's
in
what
CAD.
I thought. Man.
Oh wow! Look at this.
What's I just bought a HP 27-inch monitor, and that was so much more.
Wow, 24 inches, $100.
That's ideal if you're just like setting up 3 or 4 or something. If you wanted to go that far,
Yeah, damn.
pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, if someone has a laptop and they're looking for a screen, this is a really good screen you can get. It connects to your laptop too through an HDMI cable.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. So you can have your chats on one screen, you can have charts on the other screen. Pretty cool.
That's cheap as well. That's really cheap.
I hide the chat and just listen to you guys. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. The GP CAD is a nice setup. Yes, Nadine. Nadine has been with us for a long time. Very nice. Appreciate the presence. Did you talk anything while you're on mute? You already answered while I was typing. I forgot what I was saying while I was on mute. I don't understand why you said not to trade today, bro. If there's a clear opportunity, why not take it? Well, Mr. Tech the Truth TV, there are certain things in life you don't take, you know. There are a lot of opportunities that you will learn to give up on, and you will start to identify that, okay, which opportunities are worth taking.
Like you said, man, look how long it took that move to create what it's done. I can't be asked to go that long.
Exactly. Raja, I've stopped eating broccoli, but it's not helping. Any suggestions? Well, if you stopped eating broccoli, you probably stopped farting a lot.
What?
Yeah, man. Like when you start eating broccoli, you fart a lot. It's truth. It's true.
And same thing happens when you eat a lot of beans,
Yeah.
like red beans.
Yeah,
Not the green beans are good, man.
What about asparagus? Someone told me like this.
Those are really good, man.
I don't think asparagus affects the smell of your pee.
No. I don't think so.
No.
It does for real.
No,
Nah,
I'm not gonna go smell around my pee, man, after asparagus.
Man, you can't help it. Trust. You can't help it. You just let a little bit out. It stinks, man.
Oh, I thought in a good way. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
God damn, you guys.
Wow, what are you talking about, Chris?
Nah, believe you try it. You haven't got to go check it. It's that bad. You can be like, man, there's a difference.
Yeah. Hello, can you explain how you trade some breakouts on gold before candle close? Well, Mr. Stefano Mariani, this live stream is going to end in 15 minutes. So what you can do is you can watch the recap. We did a complete breakdown on GP CAD for these cells, from the point it broke below of the previous 30-minute candle down to where it is right now, and then continuing on. So this whole breakdown was done today. You know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a monitor, the same monitor I have, but I want it for a better deal.
I've been looking for wireless headphones, earphones. They're so expensive, man.
Where do you get your headphones, Raja?
Walmart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
For $50.
But what brand?
Oh, Blackweb.
Oh, Blackweb.
Yeah, Blackweb. They're pretty good. I'll show you here. Headset. Blackweb headphones.
Oh shit.
They are.
That looks lit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, they're out of stock on Walmart. Yeah, these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, got them on sale. So it's pretty good.
Looks like they're comfortable because I have these the Beats that with my computer when I bought my Mac. They give me the Beats for free, but man, they're pressing my head too much.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't wear these headphones for, let's say, an hour. No, not even an hour, and they're pressing my ears.
Yeah, these ones, their thing here, their foam is pretty big, so it covers your entire ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beats are too tight if you wear them for a long time. I think one of the same.
Yeah, because those looks like the gaming headphones.
Yeah, gaming ones are 10 times better. That's what they're made for. You wear them for hours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, would you
Yeah,
look
it's
at that?
solid.
Oh, that's perfect. There's a highlight.
That was the perfect trade today.
Only took 3 hours. That's fine.
Perfect trade. Waited for confirmations, called out the trade. If someone took it, congratulations, you had one win for the day. It took an hour and a half, but you made it. What specs would be best for trading computer? Looking to get one. Trading off a laptop ain't cutting it. I think if you can spend around $1,000 to $1,200, you can get a pretty good desktop for trading. I mean, my desktop cost me like $1,000. It's great for gaming. I can play all kinds of games on it. I just updated my RAM for like $150, but other than that, it's running fine. The only thing I need now is a new video card so I can connect a third monitor if I'm gonna have one in the near future.
We spoke about that before. Did you say you've tried the HDMI splitters? They're no good.
Yeah, they'll lag. They lag in the refresh rates. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, fair enough.
You can literally trade with a $100 PC. Well, if you can find one for $100, you can let me know. I called GP Cat Cell 2 hours ago and took the trade up £700. Well, Tech the Truth TV, congratulations.
Nice day. Good day.
Someone said you were a nightmare for paid programs. That's true. You know, like so many people message me. Well, in the start when I started to do these live streams, they would ask me, hey man, so how are you collecting payment from people when they come to your live streams? And I'd say, I don't, they're free. And they couldn't wrap their heads around this concept. They're like, why? Why is this dude giving these live streams for free? And I told them, well, the simple fact is, I make money from trading. You know, like most of it comes from trading, like so it doesn't really affect me.
That was always the thing when I first started out. It's always like, man, these dudes are making so much money, and then they're charging me. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Like, why do they just not do it for free? Because they're earning millions. They show me every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of real. It's good. It's nice to see.
Yeah, this is what real uncensored trading is. You know, like we have 374 people here. I'm pretty sure most of them have been on the stream since 7:30, since we started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so while this trade ran, we just like chit chatted around and talked about some different stuff. So.
Yep.
Pretty good. See, everything else just ranged. EJ ranged. If you look at UJ did whatever.
Have you looked at GJ today? I've not looked at all.
No, GJ was just no.
I see. Oh,
because GJ didn't really have a clean setup.
No.
There was a lot of fugazi happening on GJ.
Yeah.
GP CAD was the best. If you can see now, it's retesting that low. So the probability that 80% it's going to retest the low, it holds true.
Yeah, I'd expect GJ to consolidate a bit after yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah. So but if this... Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, but that's okay, because it's no trading day. It can do as much as it wants today.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, so we anticipated this move. So now if this presents itself in the near future, maybe tomorrow or, you know, next week, I'm going to keep taking it over and over and over again.
This is beautiful. I love this G-Cut.
Oh, you took the trade?
I took both of them. You know, the first one when we started, and I took the second one as well.
Oh, nice. You double dipped there.
I've closed just 10 pips. I said, leave it, that's enough. But it just keeps going.
That's a good trade. That's really good.
And as you can see, also the first trade I took, the volatility started like pushing at the end of the hour, same as now. It's exactly the same.
That's a good thing to spot. What happened just after hour opened? Did it pull back?
After the hour closed?
Yeah. When the new one started, did it pull back real quick or?
Kind of, a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
But as Raj just said, it's just testing the low. And that's what I just kept in my mind. And it just played out really, really well.
Ooh, that's moved good.
Oof.
Oof, look at that drop.
Yeah, that's
God
nice.
damn.
I wanted to take the profits around like 71, 150.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure.
Bank it.
Yeah. But it's got a lot of potential now to go all the way down.
Wow.
Right, guys, I'm going to go make a move. Got to pick up the little one.
It's in momentum. It's not even retracing back with the new hour candle opening. Yeah, it's beautiful trade.
Beautiful. Ran perfect. All right, guys, I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna head to the gym here pretty soon.
Okay, boss. Take care, man.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.